we are going to be making these amazing ink ornaments. And this is a class that we are doing. So we are going to go from start to finish, everything it takes to assemble your turner, mix your epoxy, what raw materials you're going to need to do certain types of ornaments, because I'm going to run through 5 different types of ornaments. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you have a turner that has 5 spots and you've got 5 attachments, awesome. If not, and you've got 2, maybe even 1, that's okay. It's going to have to cure for 24 hours. So just remember, when it's on the turner, you've got to leave it on there for 24 hours. So that might mean that you're only making 1 or 2. But we are going to be recording this class. We're editing it tomorrow. You can go through the other tutorials after those 2 ornaments that we make, so that you can do those techniques if you want, or you may just go crazy and do your own, which is even better. So, but the reason I want to show you more than 2 is because I want you to really think outside the box when it comes to these and try to really get creative, because there's a lot of different things that you can do with them. So without further ado, we are just gonna get started. Okay, so if you got the kit from Resin Rockers, great. I'm going to review what's in the kit. That way you guys know what everything is and how we're going to use it. If you didn't get the kit from Resin Rockers and you want to watch this class and learn, and if you happen to love it, which I hope that you do, you can go to our website and you can actually order a kit. And if you use the code CLASS20, you can save $20 off that kit. And we have everything you need to do this. So let's just see if you love it, and if you do, maybe you'll give it a shot. So, okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's in the kit if you did get the kit, and then we are going to talk about what the turner is, how it works, what is epoxy, because you know what, some people might not even know what that is, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to assemble your turner. We're going to talk about how to put your attachments on and how they work with the ornaments that you got. We're also going to talk about all the different additives and the different techniques. So that's kind of our agenda. And like I said, we're going to be doing 5 total. You may only be able to do 2, and that's totally fine. The cool thing about that is once they're cured tomorrow, you can take them off and you can just dive right in and start making more. And you're going to be so addicted. You're going to love doing this because it's relaxing, it's fun, it's something new and interesting, and it's before the holidays, so you're gonna have a jump start on these Christmas presents. And I don't know if the view is gonna show, but I'm just gonna show a bunch of different ones that I've made. And you can see a couple above me as well, but they're just, every one is different, and again, they're just a lot of fun to make, so I'm excited about this.
They're so pretty.
They're so pretty. Okay, so let's talk about what's in the kit first. All right, so we have the perfect finish. This is going to be the number one thing. This is what we're using. This is the epoxy that we're using. This is not a fast set. This is not a fast set. So when you're using the plastic ornaments like we are, there's a couple different things that I will say about these. The reason that I prefer these over the glass ones is because they're more durable. If you drop it on the floor, it's not going to shatter. If it falls off the tree, it's not going to break. This is going to just be very lightweight on your tree, and it's going to last forever. The one thing with these is you don't want to use a fast set epoxy, because if you do, it could pull in some of the plastic and cause what I call a little dent. And I actually did it on one of these so I could show you guys what it looks like. So if you add too much heat to it, this is what it looks like. It's going to have a little dimple in it. So that's what we're going to prevent with the heat that we're using. And that's why we're not using a fast set epoxy. We are going to be using the perfect finish. Cures in 24 hours, so you have a longer working time. It also gives you a little bit more time to do more things with the ornament, which is what we want. We don't want to rush through it. A lot of us are beginners and we're just trying to figure it out. So we just want to make it right. So we have our 4-pack of ornaments. These are 4-inch ornaments. So this is what we're going to be using. You also have some Ranger alcohol inks, and I have a 3-pack of colors that I already know go together well. So this is going to be great for you. And I just try to pick something like that I thought maybe everybody would like, but you can. I'm going to go through a lot of different inks during the class and kind of show you guys some of the vendors that I use, some of the partners that we work with that have great inks that I love working with, and they were so generous that they gave us codes for you guys to use so you can get discounts on your orders, which I'm super excited about that too. So we're going to be showing you all kinds of stuff. So I hope you guys are ready. All right, so we also have the Thickwid, which is the liquid pigment paste. This is a way to make your epoxy white. And the reason that I like that is because I like a little bit of white swirl in mine. It doesn't overtake the ornament. It just gives it just a little bit of brightness, which is nice. And it hides imperfections too. So that's why I like this. We also gave you some Stardust right here. That's what this little white powder is. That is an additive to your epoxy that's going to make it shimmer. So glitter can be, even microfine glitters can be a little bit rough, especially if your epoxy is coated really thin. It still might, when it cures, come out and you'll be able to feel that. We don't want to top coat these. We want to be one and done. We're going to do one coat on these and then they're going to cure and they're going to be beautiful and done and you won't have to do anything. So if you want to have that little bit of shimmer, which who doesn't love shimmer? I love shimmer. You guys like shimmer?
I might love a little bit more than shimmer.
Love shimmer, right?
Shimmer, glimmer, glitter, all of it.
All of it. So that's why we're going to use this. And then we have little stars. We're going to do some sprinkles of some stars on one ornament so you can kind of see what that looks like because these are opal stars, so they're very, very pretty and very unique. We have some chunky glitter, and a lot of people will just sprinkle a little bit of chunky glitter on it after. So again, so many possibilities, and I'm just here to kind of, inspire you and give you some ideas on what you could be doing. And I just have a feeling that all of you guys are going to knock it out of the park, and we're going to get so many tags from all of you guys with all these different ornaments, and you're probably going to be inspiring me at the end of this to try new things, which is what I'm hopeful for. Okay, so you're also going to have a silicone brush right here. We're going to use that for a little bit of swirling technique. And if you're wondering what this little spoon is for, this is like a godsend because if you have these little tiny jars of glitter, it's very easy to measure out what you need because you don't need a lot instead of just tapping it. Because sometimes when you just tap it, the whole jar goes in it. And we're going to try to avoid that tonight. We've got our stirring stick here, which we're going to use for a couple different things. And then we have, of course, your mat, and that's very important. So that is the first thing that I want you guys to do is put your mat down on your workspace. Let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the epoxy and what it does, let's talk a little bit about safety. So I know we sent you guys an email with all of the safety precautions. This is a chemical. You're going to be working with a chemical. We want to be safe about it. So if you are working in a non-ventilated area especially, or if you've never worked with epoxy or anything like that before, you should always be wearing a mask or respirator, something just to protect you because it can react, everybody can react differently. So we always want to protect ourselves. I have a professional industrial exhaust that will be pulling all the draft off my table. So that is how I'm going to be able to do it live without the respirator, or you'd never be able to hear me. And then also the nitrile gloves. We want a pair of nitrile gloves. Those are also very handy, especially when we're mixing the epoxy. It can get messy. We want to make sure that we're protecting our skin, protecting our hands, and that sort of thing. So that being said, hopefully you guys got that email and hopefully you have everything that you need. And we are going to dive right into our first ornament. So let's talk a little bit about the turner. So I'm gonna take one of my ornaments. Well, actually, I'm just gonna take all my ornaments out. You can go ahead and take your ornaments out, get them ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap this one here. Okay, so if you have gotten one of the turners, if you're using one of the turners from Dino's, so it has something called a quick release, and that's what you'll be using tonight. So I know we've had several emails come in saying, oh my gosh, my attachment doesn't fit because they're putting it right on here. Totally understandable. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do to attach this and get it to be stable onto this turner. So we are going to put this on here, and there's a little button right here. This is the quick release right here. You are going to push in that button and put it right into the hole, and it's going to attach this arm, and that's exactly what I want you to do. So that's how you attach it. When you're attaching your ornament attachment, you're just going to go on the opposite end with your ornament attachment, and it's going to fit really nice and snug on there. So it's going to look like this. So you're going to have one end open with a hole, and you're going to have one ornament attachment on the other end. So that's how you attach your turner. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I have a magnetic. Some of you have the magnetic, the magnetic arm, and I'm going to be, as I do my ornaments on the single, I'm going to be transferring them over to my five top there. So I'm actually going to tape this on. So if you have a turner that maybe isn't Dino's and your attachment doesn't fit exactly right, you can actually put painter's tape around the PVC pipe and then put your attachment on here so you can kind of make it work, at least for the sake of the class, and then you can get with Dino's after that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to tape this on. I ordered an adapter for it, so I won't have to do that much longer, but I'm just going to take a piece of painter's tape and I'm just going to tape it right onto the turner arm here. So I've got my attachment on here, I've got my arm on here, so let's talk a little bit about the functionality of the turner. So why do you need a turner with epoxy? Why do you think you need a turner with epoxy? So if you think about epoxy resin, it is self-leveling. So it's always going to be level out no matter what surface it's on. If you have something round, or even if you're doing a tumbler, let's say you're doing a tumbler and you coat it with epoxy and then you have it facing down, what do you think is going to happen? Obviously that epoxy is not, it's going to try to level to the lowest spot, which is off of the tumbler. So that's why these turners were invented, because when you put the epoxy on, it's going to keep it turning slowly so that it continues to level and it will coat evenly. So that's the whole purpose of the turner and why it's so important with epoxy. That being said, there are, depending on what turner you guys have, you might have one of your own. If you're doing the single or the double, when you turn it on, it will turn one direction. If you snap it off and put it the other way, most of the time, it'll turn backwards. So it does go both directions. And the reason I really like that feature is because once it starts turning and you warm up your epoxy and you've got this really nice, cool design coming in, it's when you change directions, it kind of just moves everything again and just creates this amazing swirl effect, and you guys are going to love it. You are going to love it.
So pretty.
So pretty. Okay, so we're going to turn off our turner because we're going to attach our ornament. So let's go ahead. We're going to take one of our ornaments. You're going to take the top off. It just has a spring top, so you're just going to take it off, hang on to your little string. We're just going to put those aside, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put the ornament right onto the attachment, and we're going to hold it and then wiggle it on. And you'll notice on the attachment there are these ridges. You can hear them. The ridges are what's going to grab the ornament and hold it on. Now you can also use these for rings. So if you make epoxy rings with the inlays, these are awesome. I make them all the time. They're so awesome. So these are multi-use. Just remember that. All right, so my ornament is on here. It's really nice and snug, which is great. So that is all ready to go. So I am actually going to put my gloves on now, and I'm going to start mixing up our epoxy. So let's talk a little bit about epoxy, because I get this question all the time. What is the difference between epoxy and UV resin? Because obviously you guys know we are known for our UV resin, and they're totally different. They're different chemical makeups. They're different. They have different use cases, and they perform differently. So UV resin, if you guys are used to UV resin, is a no mixing formula. So it's a 1-part no mixing formula. You use it straight out of the bottle, and then you cure it with a UV light, and you're done, right? Epoxy, totally different chemical makeup. You have 2 parts. You've got an A and you've got a B. Once you mix those 2 parts together in equal parts and you start stirring it up, it's going to cause a chemical reaction, and that is what is going to allow it to cure. So if you have it, that's why in the bottle it's still going to be in its liquid state, but once you start mixing them together, it's going to start getting warmer, and that's what's going to allow it to cure. So we're going to go ahead and open up our epoxy. So we're going to open up our A and our B. And one little quick tip for you. The bottle caps are different colors, and we did that for a reason. If you notice, the white cap goes with the A, which is white, and the black cap goes with the B, which has the black aura around it. That's so that you don't mix them up, because what can happen is if you put the wrong cap on the wrong bottle, it can actually glue to the bottle because you're mixing a little bit of A and a little bit of B.
That sounds like something I would do.
And I've done it before. So, that is why we color code these things. So that's just a little tip for you there. So now we're going to go ahead and open up our B, and I'm just using an X-Acto knife and I'm cleaning it in between so that I'm not mixing any A and any B. So I'm sure that our suppliers that we partner with for some of these inks are going to be in here. So we're going to give them a round of applause and say thank you because we're able to use their wonderful products tonight, and they have offered to give you guys discounts as well. So we thank them for that. Thank you. Okay. So one of the other things you guys got in your kit is one of the, I think they got 5, didn't they, of these mixing cups?
Yep.
So these are 20 milliliter cups. So we're going to take one of these, and we are going to do, for this first one, we're going to do 20 mLs of A and 20 mLs of B. So you're going to look at your tick marks here, right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my A and I'm going to fill it to that 20 milliliter line. So here is the A. So we've got that. Now we're going to be using this again. We're going to do a couple batches of this. Now we're doing B. We're going to do 20 milliliters of B. So we're going to fill it up to the 40. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now we are going to stir it. So from the time that you start stirring it, you're going to have about 45-minute work time. Now, keep in mind, when you're working with epoxy, if you warm it up, it's going to close that window of work time because the warmer it gets, the faster it's going to cure. Now, we are going to be adding heat to these. So you guys should have a source of heat, whether it's a heat gun like this. There's little small handheld ones that you can use. I just like the bigger ones because they're more powerful and I get stuff done quicker. But you can use what you have. And anytime you're using heat, it's just going to speed that process up. Now, it's not going to take us that long to do an ornament anyway, but it is there. So while I'm stirring this, we're going to stir this for a couple minutes. Make sure you're scraping the sides all the way around. Scrape that bottom. It's going to get cloudy like this. We're going to keep stirring it until it starts to get clear. And you're going to see some micro bubbles in there, and that's totally normal because as soon as we get these on the ornament, they're going to be gone. So we are just going to keep stirring, stirring. Can this resin you're using be used for molds and sealing canvases? So it cannot, I don't recommend it in molds. We have Perfect Pour for that. That's the one in Hobby Lobby. The canvas question, this has been tested by so many artists and it is the best. It is rated the best for UV protection and ease of use. So yes, canvases, fine artists use this all the time. This is the formula that I would recommend over the fast finish even because it has such good UV protection. So yes, that's a great question. I love that you're doing all the steps on the live and you're explaining it. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you like that. We like to do that in our classes because a lot of people will go back on YouTube and watch this later, and I try to make sure that, we're helping them. That's our whole purpose, is to help everyone.
And we do still have ornament kits available.
Yes, so we do have ornament kits. So if you like what I'm doing and you're excited about it, and you want to try something new, you can go over to our website and use the code CLASS20. Class20, and you'll be able to save $20 on the kit if you put that code in. So you guys can check it out. It has everything that I'm showing you today. All right, so now that I am stirring it, you can see it's like kind of like looks like bubbly but clear. It's clear, it's not cloudy anymore. So this is what you're going for after you're scraping those sides and everything. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. So now I'm going to take the stick and I'm just going to scrape the extra resin back into the cup here. And I love baby wipes. Those are my choice of cleaning tool because it works really well to get what I need off of my tools and keep them clean when I'm working. So a little tidbit there. Okay. So now let's get our alcohol ink out. So we have In the kit, we have this 3-pack, and so I'm going to use this on the first ornament. Then I'm going to use a variety of alcohol inks that are out in the Tumblr community that you have access to, and I'm hoping that you will give them a try because they have amazing products, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy the results. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go through those one by one after I do the ones that came in your kit. So we're going to go ahead and open these up. Again, this is a 3-pack of inks that are color matched, so they go well together. So we're going to set these aside. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to use our thickwood. So here's our thickwood. I want you to shake it up really, really well. We're going to shake it up really, really well. Will you keep the kits in stock at least for the holidays? So we are going to keep them in stock as long as we can. Believe it or not, we had like a truckload of ornaments, so we're probably not going to get any more of those in. They're laughing because yes, we've been packing these things up for like weeks. We probably will not get any more in before the holidays. So once the kits are sold out, they're going to be sold out. But you'll have access to the class, and hopefully you'll get to make some. Okay, so I'm going to take the lid off my thickwood. You might have to open it up, check it, see if it has a seal. If it has a seal, make sure that you break that seal so that you can use it. So I'm going to take my thickwood and I'm just going to put approximately 10 drops in there. About 10 drops. That's about all you're going to need. Now, what is thickwood? It is a liquid pigment paste. So a lot of the pigment paste out there, it's exactly what it says it is. It's a paste. So you're gonna have to do a lot more stirring. You're gonna have to make sure it spreads evenly. I prefer something with the black and whites anyway. I prefer something in a liquid form because I just want to be able to stir it in quickly. So that's why it works so well. So we're gonna go ahead and stir this in. And it's going to turn white, which is exactly what we want. So you can see how white that is. And because we talked about adding a little bit of shimmer, trying to look at comments too. If I goofed when mixing A and B, how do I get it out of the mold? It's so sticky. Yeah, freezer was going to be my first go-to. Freezer is the best. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of the Stardust. So go ahead and grab your Stardust out of your bag. And the Stardust is not the stars, it is the little dust here. So we're going to use that little dust. Perfect. And I'm just going to tap on this so that it's not all over the lid. We're going to use our little glitter spoon to measure, and we are going to do almost one rounded little spoonful, and we're just going to dump that right on top. And then you're going to stir that in. Perfect. Yeah, if you guys want the kits, use class 20 as your code when you go to our website. Class 20. All right, so we have our Stardust in. Now, don't be alarmed if you don't see the shimmer. That's going to come out as we get this moving. You're going to see it. It's in there.
It's in there.
So you don't want to keep adding it to it. Trust me, it's going to work. All right, so I'm going, now that I have it all mixed in here, I'm going to clean my stick off so I can keep it clean. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to turn our turner on. And I like to start it with it turning away from me, and I'll show you why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my epoxy, and I'm just going to very lightly pour. And as I pour, I'm using my finger. I'm just resting my finger on the ornament and letting the turner do the work for me. So that's how I get started. That way it's not dripping off the ornament. So we're just going to kind of let the turner do the work, and then we'll start spreading it around just like this. Now, don't feel like you have to add more, that it has to all be opaque. We don't really want to worry about that too much. It doesn't have to be opaque. It can just be a little bit see-through. That's totally fine. The white should give you some kind of coverage, though. It should have some kind of coverage. And the reason for that is it's obviously going to be easier to see where you have epoxy and where you don't. You want to make sure that you have epoxy everywhere so that you don't melt the plastic with your heat gun. That is one of the things you want to watch for. So now I'm just kind of filling in all of the empty spots that I didn't do. And we're going to go all the way up to the top, all the way up to the tippy top like this. Don't worry if you get it on the rim, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. Make sure you get the bottom all the way around. And then let it spin up to the top so you can see that it's all the way to the edge. Just like that. And then I usually will take my glove and kind of wipe it along my cup just to get the rest of the epoxy back in there. And I'm going to use my wipey to wipe my gloves so that I don't keep touching things and getting them all sticky.
It's easy
That's
to do.
a thing.
It's so easy to do and
So
not
easy.
even know that you're doing it.
Yes. Okay, so if you have your heat gun, if you don't have a torch, you can use your heat gun totally fine. I have a torch. This is a culinary torch. It's a little bit stronger than your typical torch. We're just going to torch this a little bit. I'm going to get these extra ornaments out of my way so you guys can see. So we're just going to torch to get rid of those bubbles. That's the primary use. Now you don't want to over torch because that whole thing about warming up the epoxy, you're going to reduce the pot life on it. So I'm just going to go over it quickly and I'm just going to make sure that I got rid of any bubbles that are at the surface. So very, very quick. All right, so now we're going to start the ink process, which I'm excited about. Okay, so we're going to go, you guys can pick any color you want first. Doesn't really matter. One thing I am going to do, because I'm going to be doing so many, is I'm just going to put a little bit of paper underneath to catch the inks. All right, so I'm going to go in with the patina first. And you're just going to add little drips.
Ooh, this is my favorite part.
It is, isn't it? You're like, this is a very much trust the process. You're going to trust the process because it's going to look weird and jumbly and totally, non-symmetrical, but we are going to just continue adding our inks, and once we start warming it up and getting that swirl going, it's all going to come together. So now I'm going in with my flamingo. And we're just going to do little drips.
Hey, Dinos, how you doing? We got lots of our friends on TikTok.
Awesome. Welcome in, guys. So good to see you. All right. So now I'm going to go in with my amethyst. And we're going to add that. Now, I do notice with the darker colors of these inks that they do kind of overtake the ornament a little bit. So you just want to go gentle on the purple, on the amethyst. Just one drop at a time and try to get it in the white area so that everything has a little bit of color. All right, so now I'm going to go back. We're going to rotate back. We're going to go back to the patina, and we're just going to keep going back and forth between the colors until you achieve the look that you think you might want, the amount of color that you think you might want. So I'm going to go in with a little more of that. Make sure that you get it all the way on this side so that you get the bottom of the ornament. I've seen a lot of people who will kind of, only stick to the middle and not do the two ends, and you want to make sure that you're getting that ink everywhere. All right, I'm going back to the flamingo. We're just going to do little drip drops. Perfect. Now, I like to do metallics. Not everyone does, but I'm a fan. So if you happen to have metallic, great. I want you to shake it up really, really well. I'm using Bear Creek. This is called Fields of Gold.
Woo, Bear Creek!
Bear Creek. Now, he has a code for you. It is Rockers. That'll save you some money on your order if you guys want to order from Bear Creek. I'm going to be using quite a few of his inks tonight. But this is called Fields of Gold. Now, with the metallics, they can tend to take over. So we want to go very gentle on these metallics. So what I like to do is once you shake it up, just put a little bit on your mixing stick. Just a little drop like this on your mixing stick. And then we're just going to tap very gently in a couple places instead of dropping it directly, because that we don't want it to take over. That way it's just enough. We just want just a little bit on there. You just have a little more control that way. Perfect. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to take your heat gun and we're gonna start heating these up. I'm gonna put my inks over here and I'm gonna take my heat gun, I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna do just little slides back and forth to get that epoxy moving a little bit and pop any bubbles. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of epoxy to the top. So we're gonna take our stirring stick, make sure that it's clean, and we're going to dip our stirring stick into our epoxy and we're just gonna pull it out like this, and then we're gonna drizzle it over the top. And I'm gonna do that all the way around. Now, one of the reasons I really like to do this is because it really prevents fish eyes. Fish eyes are the little imperfections that it leaves when it kind of looks like it's repelling, which we don't want. So I always try to do that. Even if it's with clear at the end, I try to add a little bit more epoxy. Okay, so now we're going back to the heat gun. And we're just gonna start heating it up. And this is where the magic happens, guys. So don't hold the heat directly to the ornament. We want to go back and forth slowly. You don't want it to be too hot. And you'll start seeing it swirl together, which is exactly what we want it to do. Don't forget to get the bottom. And then once it starts swirling, you can let it go for just a few seconds here. And then you can actually change the direction of the turner. And that's going to help. And then what you're going to do is, the reason that you have that quick release button is you can push that button, take it off the turner, and hold it, and go upside down and right side up.
So fun to watch.
And that is what's going to create that really nice swirl.
So pretty.
And you can kind of play with it as long as you want, until you achieve the look that you like. But this is a really cool one. This looks really nice. Just like that. And you can see that the gold doesn't take over, which is really important. You don't want that gold taking over.
You're getting a lot of beautifuls on TikTok.
So pretty. So this one is actually done. So now I'm going to put it on my big turner. It is going to cure for 24 hours. It'll probably be done in 12, but I usually like to say 24 hours depending on your humidity, your environment. This heat gun stinks. It's I had to replace my heat gun because it was too loud. And this one is, you can just really smell it. You can smell it burning off, that initial burn. Okay, so we've got our first ornament done. So if you did it, yay, congratulations, good job. We're gonna move on to the next one.
Don't be shy to show pictures in our Facebook group too. We'd love to see what you've made.
Yes, we would.
We love those.
Love, love, love. All right, we're going to move right into our next one. So same process. We are going to put our ornament attachment on, just like this. We're going to add the turner arm to the attachment. Make sure it's nice and snug. I am going to add my attachment on to the turner. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead and start coating right away because we want to use this epoxy in this cup. So we're going to go ahead and start coating it just like we did the other ones. And then we're going to use some different inks on this one. So same process, just lightly coating it. All the way around. I'm going to try to see if I can get to comments too. Do you guys sell the ornament attachments separately? Yes, we do. If you go to our shop, you can find those in the tools section. Just search ornament attachment and you will find it. They work really well for rings too. So if you are a fan of jewelry with inlays, they work really well for that too. So we're going all the way up to the edge here. I'm gonna make sure I got all the way to the bottom. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to clean off my glove. This. Perfect. All right, we're going to go back to the culinary torch for just a couple quick passes, just to get rid of any surface bubbles on there. Kind of heat that epoxy up, get it moving a little bit. And then we're going to go in with our inks. Okay, so for the next round of inks, we are going to be using Bear Creek. You guys can use whatever inks you have, or again, if you want to order from Bear Creek, you can use the code ROCKERS and you can save yourself some money. So the colors that I have chosen for the next one, I've never done it before, but we're going to try something because I always like
be good.
It's going to be good, I think, but I always like to experiment with different things, so that's what we're going to do. Well, everybody knows that I just got a new bird. I got a new bird. I'm super excited about it. This was Tori's idea, and I love it. It's cute. But she said, let's do an ornament that has the same colors of my bird, Kevin. And my Kevin is an eclectus parrot, so it's red, blue, periwinkle, a little bit of green, which we're not going to do. So we're gonna try this and see how it looks. So I'm using Carolina Reaper from Bear Creek, Carolina Reaper. So that's gonna be my first color.
This is a really pretty one.
So pretty.
So pigmented, so bright and vivid, so pretty. Just beautiful.
Yes, I will say his inks are really concentrated. So if you really want vibrant colors and you don't want to have to use a lot, and you want colors that are true, this is a really good company to order from because they do look beautiful. You can see this is a true red. Like this is what she looks like.
Yep. Oh, yes,
just like this.
It's a really pretty color.
Then I'm going in with sapphire blue. And again, same thing. Very bright, very vibrant. Don't need to use too much. So pretty. All right, and then we picked Blue Bayou for the next one. I'm going to do a couple drops of that. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did before where we circle back to the Carolina Reaper. I'm going to do a little bit more of that.
Oh, Susan Haley said, oh my goodness, that is a red I've been looking for.
Oh, it's perfect. It's really hard to find a good red. This is it. This is a great red. All right, Blue Bayou. Going back with a little bit more of the Blue Bayou. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our epoxy here. It's already warm, so the epoxy is warm because this is the second ornament I'm doing, so I don't need to use the heat gun on this one. So we're going to add our drizzle on top. It's going to be like red wine blue. This is going to be very patriotic, I have a feeling.
Kevin loves this country.
She does. She does.
I keep forgetting it's she.
It's a she. And you know what? Everybody's going to ask me that. I knew I was getting into that. I knew that it was going to be trouble for me. The reason it's a she is because I'm obsessed with the movie Up, guys. I can't help it. It's my favorite Disney movie ever. And Kevin is a bird in the movie. And her name is Kevin because that's what, that's what she was named. So I had to do it. I had to. All right, so now we're going back with our heat gun. I'm just going to slowly heat this up.
What is the name of the red one again?
It is Carolina Reaper. slowly, slowly, till you get some movement in there. All right, so now this is starting to move. I am going to actually add, let's see, where is it? A little bit of mother of pearl. So I'm going to add a little bit of that because she's kind of shimmery. If you guys are wondering what that noise is, it is my ink mixer. It's the fastest way when you're working with these alcohol inks. Some of them tend to settle at the bottom. And to get those metal balls moving, you just got to shake it up. But to save time, I use the OmniLab.
We've got a good question on TikTok. Danya Cook is asking, what did you say earlier about the fish eyes and the drizzle?
So the drizzle helps to prevent fish eyes because you're adding more epoxy to it. A lot of times fish eyes will happen when there's not enough resin. So to prevent that from happening, you're going to add more resin and it's going to fill in all those little spots that might have a little bit of repelling or just not enough resin in general. And it helps a ton. It really does help a ton. Okay, so I've added the mother of pearl in there. So now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like.
Man, that's pretty.
Oh, so cool.
So pretty.
That is
So
sharp.
just going back and forth, kind of playing around with it until you get it the way that you love it. But these are so fun, guys. And again, the cool thing, the thing that I love the most is that no ornament is the same. No one can recreate that ornament. So they're all very unique and very different, and people love them. People just love them.
Think about how pretty that's going to be on the Christmas tree.
This would be so pretty.
Have all the same ornaments, but not quite.
This has got bomb pop feels too.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So we are going to put this one on
Yeah, that's a
Turner
good one.
now. All right, we're going to keep going, guys.
Jerry with Windmill Apparel said, what is R2D2 on the table?
That does look like R2D2. So that is actually my OmniLab. It's a mixer. It has suction cups on the bottom, which I love. So you can actually, it's kind of like you only have one hand free. You can just take advantage of that. Suction it to the table. Any of the inks that settle, like this one, you can see kind of settles at the bottom. So what I do is I take my ink from the cap, put it down into the point and tilt it to the side, and it vibrates and it shakes the ink for me. So it does it twice as fast and it saves a ton of time, and you don't have to sit there and shake. So that's what R2D2 is there. You're very welcome. Is the ink mixer flexible for sizes? Wondering if it will work for Marabou. It works for Marabou. I've tested it with Marabou. I've tested it with Easy Turns. I've tested it with Bear Creek, WC inks, Ranger inks, just about any ink I've tried it with, and it works really, really well.
Oh, we've got another really good question.
Yeah, hit me.
Can you use a baker's torch instead of a heat gun?
I'm guessing you mean a culinary torch. Yes, you can, but tread lightly because they are very, very powerful, and it's easier for me with the heat gun because you can pull it away, and I guess it's just dispersed a little bit differently, but yes, you can. It's just you got to master it a little bit more. Got it. All right, so now I'm going in for the third. So for these, we are going to mix some new epoxy. So I'm going to clean my little stick here, and if Liz and Tori, if you guys see questions that come up, if you can let me know while I'm doing this,
I've got a
that
question.
would be great.
Gracie would like to know what light paste you recommend.
So the paste that I recommend is called Thickwood. It's available in our shop. It's a pigment paste, but it's in a liquid form. So it works the same as a pigment paste, only it is a little bit thinner and easier to dispense. It's easier to mix. It's just easier to work with. It's what I prefer over pigment paste in general. Guys, and if you are wanting to order the kit that I'm working with right now, you can go to our website. We do have some left. Use the code CLASS20. CLASS20 will save you $20 on the kit, and we do sell the ornaments separately and all the epoxy separately, all that fun stuff. So yeah, so go check it out. And the epoxy's on sale too. Epoxy is on sale, so don't
There's
miss
a
out on
big
that.
banner at the top of the page. If you click that, it'll take you straight to the ornament kit.
Woo!
Perfect. Even better. All right, so I'm going to set up this next ornament, and then we are going to mix some more epoxy. And this just kind of gives me a chance to answer questions for you guys as I go. All right, so if you are late to the party, welcome. You're going to get to see me start all over again with a new one. So we are going to take our measuring cup. This is by milliliters. We're going to go 20 milliliters of the A and 20 milliliters of the B, and then we're going to mix it up. And I'm using the Perfect Finish formula. This is the best one for these plastic ornaments. All right, so we're going in at 20. Perfect. And the kit comes with just about everything that you need. If you don't have a turner, don't worry. You can go to Dino's and get a turner. They have ones that you can get a single like this. You can get a double. You can get 5 like that. They can pretty much build anything custom for you that you desire. The one behind me I won at Tumbler Invasion, and I love it.
I mean,
come on.
Hello, look at
Guys, seriously, doesn't get any better than that. We had one of the best booths, and that was what we got to pick from that, or one of the supply bags. And I'm like, do we even need to think about this? Look at the turner. It's amazing.
We've got some questions here.
All right, let's hear them.
Let's see.
Yes, we sell cups too. We sell 30 ounce, 20 ounce. We sell the Stanley dupes, and we sell these cute little new cups that we just got. They're little coffee cups, but they're like in a little mini tumbler form, so they're awesome for little cups of coffee to take in the car. They have a screw top, which I love. Most of them are the pop tops, which they're great for like regular drinks and stuff, but I like the screw top better for coffee because I'm messy. So those are nice. We have big ones and small ones of those little cups. We just got those in last week.
Is it possible to use the white genre pigment in place of the white liquid?
Yes, you can. You can use the genre pigments in epoxy. Just know that you got to stir a little bit more, and you're going to have to use more. So it's not going to go as far. But if you have that, it is epoxy friendly. So yeah, you absolutely can.
Another
can.
question. What would happen if you left out the thickwood and just used the epoxy?
Funny that you ask, because we are about to do one like that. So we are doing that now, actually. So you guys can see what it looks like. So I'm mixing up my epoxy. Make sure you're scraping the sides all the way around, scraping the bottom. We want to make sure all the A and all the B is mixed up. You'll see that it goes really thick when you start mixing it, and that's how you know it's not ready yet. Once it starts to thin out and you see it almost looks like a foamy texture, that's how you know it's ready. So just keep that stirring going. All right, so we've got this mixed up. What resin do you suggest for beginners? Perfect Finish is the perfect one for beginners. If you're doing ornaments or cups or fine art, that's the formula that you want. If you're casting in a mold, you're going to want the Perfect Pour, and you can find that in Hobby Lobby. We have a kit in Hobby Lobby that has everything you need to mix and do all the fun stuff. And it's in all the stores, I think, now. All right, so this is nice, and it's got a really nice consistency. It feels nice and thin. That's what we want. So it's like almost like a thin, foamy look to it. So I'm gonna dry this off my stick. Boom. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is we are going to put it on clear, and then we're going to do some alcohol ink and some stars. We're gonna do some opal stars on this one, so this is gonna be a good one. All right, so let's turn this on, going away from me. So it's 2 clicks to switch directions. All right, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna start adding on our epoxy. All right, so when you're adding this, you're gonna see there's bubbles, and we're gonna use the torch to get those out. So you're just gonna spread a thin coat all over. Kind of letting the turner do some of that work for you. Helps it spread evenly. Nope, no thick one on this one. We're doing some different techniques to give you guys different ideas. So we are going all clear here. And those of you thinking about getting the kit, this class is recorded. It will be on YouTube tomorrow by noon. And you'll be able to watch this class and create right alongside with me. If you use the code CLASS20, you will get $20 off the kit. And if you go to the website, the banner takes you right to the kits.
All right, I'm excited about this one. I haven't seen you do one with a clear base first.
The cool thing about this is you can put lights in it, which is cool.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
You can put lights in it because it's still going to be translucent. So, all right, so I got a nice little coat going here. And we're going to torch it. We're going to add a little bit of heat. Get that moving. Let's look at our other two ornaments. Those are looking mighty fine up there. I think those look great. So I'm excited. I'll do a video for you guys after they cure so you can see the final result. But I'm sure they're going to be great. All right, so I'm going to use my torch. We're going to get rid of some of these little bubbles here. Don't worry about getting rid of all of them because the alcohol ink is also going to aid in getting rid of them. So no worries. Okay, so here we go. We are going to be using, I'm excited about this one because this is going to be good. Okay, we're going to be doing some blues on this one. All right, so these inks, I'm going to be using a mixture of Bear Creek and Easy Turns. Now, Bear Creek's code is ROCKERS to save you money, and so is Easy Turns. So if you go to Easy Turns, his are mica-based inks. You can use the code ROCKERS and save yourself some money. All right, so the first one we're using from Easy Turns is called The Beast. And this is a really nice deep blue. So the trick here is not to overload it because we want to be able to see through the ornament still so that light can penetrate. Next we're going with Atlantis. This is almost like, this one has ocean vibes to it, which is why I really love it. So this is called Atlantis. This one definitely has more shimmer to it. So it's easily going to let more light through, which is cool.
We have a question about the clear base. Could you put extra fine glitter in the epoxy before you put it on the ornament?
Yes, and actually Stardust works awesome because you don't have to top coat the ornament. So Stardust, we have a collection of 25 different additives, and they're all different colors, and they're super fine, almost like chalk dust. That's how fine it is. So it mixes in really easily. It works really well. You can use glitter, but it may show. It may end up showing some, so just know that. All right, so we're gonna add some Bear Creek. This is called Small Town Teal. This is one of my favorites for a teal. I mean, we all know I love teal. It's our company color, so this is probably one of my favorites. But I like it on clear because it actually shows clear.
Yeah.
It's more transparent, which is what we're kind of going
It almost
for.
looks like a blown glass or like stained glass or something. It's really stunning.
Yeah, you have to pick the right ink. You don't want to pick anything that's too heavy like that. The Ranger Purple, the Amethyst that I was telling you about, that happens to be very, very pigmented. So you just want to kind of be mindful of that.
Very mindful.
Very demure. Okay.
Yeah, right. We all know that crafting is chaotic and crazy.
Yeah, always. Good Lord. Next, we're going in with Boo. This is from Easy Turns as well. Again, class, if you want the code, it's ROCKERS. So I'm going to have to get this one moving a little bit here. The alcohol ink shaker mixer. We don't sell them. You can get them on Amazon. They're called OmniLab. They're not cheap. They're like $40-ish, but they work awesome. It saves me so much time. Okay, trying to see if there are any. What type of gloves are you wearing? We sell these. These are nitrile gloves. They're very heavy duty nitrile gloves.
They're
and
awesome.
They don't tear or anything like that. They're not thin. They're very thick. Let's see. Can it be done on teardrop or disc ornaments the same way? Teardrops, I would stay away from. They level out a little bit differently. They're a little bit tricky. The oval ornaments, the flat ones, like, just happen to have some here. Don't ask me why.
Guess it's a good thing you did.
I guess so. These are the flat ovals, like this. These work really well. You can use those. Okay, so let's go in with our boo. And then we're gonna add just a couple drops of the Blue Bayou by Bear Creek. And again, this one's more pigmented, so use with caution. And then I'm gonna do a little bit more of the Atlantis. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit of drizzle. We're just gonna do clear over top. Just like this. Perfect. So you can see how translucent it is, which is awesome. So yeah, you can add whatever you want on the inside of this, including lights, which is super fun. We're gonna go ahead and start adding our heats. You can do this with any color combination that you choose. And then once it starts moving, this is when it starts to get fun.
Pretty pretty.
So we're going to switch directions and we'll let that spin for a few seconds here. Now we're going to take it off and we're going to do the same thing. Now you can see the swirl effect.
So pretty.
Super pretty, but still very translucent. So if you're wanting to do lights or even glitter on the inside, you can do that. But this is a really fun, interesting way to just create something different if you don't want it to be opaque. So
pretty. That would just be stunning on a
pretty.
tree. Just gorgeous.
Right? It would. You can
Really
see the Christmas
beautiful.
lights through it. You can't buy ornaments like this, guys. These are handmade. People are selling these for a pretty penny, and I get why, because they're so beautiful. Every year we've had people asking, can I buy the ornaments off your tree? Last year we had people coming in our lobby saying, can I buy these ornaments off your tree? We just gave them away, but still, they're great. They're great gifts. And it's something that everybody can do, which I love. I love that too. So now I'm going to add some stars to it. So we're going to use our little stars. And we are just going to take a little pinch. And we're just going to drop them on very gently. And I thought with the blue, it would just all come together, and they're opal and they're so small. We get them cut very, very tiny so that when you add them to a tumbler or even something like this, they sit flat. A lot of people are putting these stars on, and because they're bigger, they don't sit flat. And so you've got these rough edges and they just don't look right. They don't feel good. They don't look right. These are the perfect size. We have these in, how many colors do we have these in, Liz?
Oh my gosh, pretty much every color you can think of. Teal, orange, red, silver, gold, all of them.
All the colors, we have these
Search
stars.
mini stars on the site and you'll find them all.
All right, so now I'm going to show you what this looks like with the stars.
So cute.
So pretty.
It's just a little something.
It's just a little something fun. All right, so now I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is something that you guys can do at home, and I hope that you will try it. We are going to use black ornaments, and it's really easy to make them. So I simply just took the ornaments that came in your kit, and I spray painted them with matte black Rust-Oleum paint. Matte black Rust-Oleum paint. The easiest way to, the mess-free, I should say, sort of mess-free, way to do this is to take your Turner arm, put your attachment on, and then what I do is I line this whole thing with painter's tape. Then I put the ornament on, and then I take it outside and I spray paint it all, and I keep my attachment clean, I keep my Turner arm clean, peel the tape off, and I'm good. But I do them like a dozen at a time. So I have like half a dozen here and half a dozen in the garage that are ready to go. So that's all it is matte spray paint. You want to use matte because the shiny will repel, and we don't want any repelling. We definitely don't want that.
That's a good tip, because that's not something you think of when you're new.
No.
I found that out pretty quick.
And it will cause fish eyes.
Yeah.
It's one of the number one ways people get fish eyes too is the shiny paint. Always, always, always stay away from that.
We have a funny comment on TikTok I think you'll like. Susan Haley just said, I just went and checked out Bear Creek's inks, and oh my god, I'm getting them all.
They're great. I'm telling you, they're great.
It's a slippery slope, Susan.
It really is.
Very pretty.
They are. They're great. Just make sure you use that code to save yourself some money. We don't get kickback from it. We just like to help other small businesses, and we like to help our customers, so it's a win-win. All right, so I am going to put clear on here. Since we're using clear, we're just going to stick with the clear here. So we're going to add this. Okay, here we go. So we've got our black ornament. We've put our clear on. You don't need to use thick wood if you're worried about base coverage. We have a black thick wood that you can use. You can use that on the clear ornament if you don't want to spray paint, but just know that it's not going to have this deep, dark color to it. So now we're going to torch. Get rid of some of these surface bubbles. And then I'm going to show you guys another kind of ink that you can use. Okay, now we're moving into WC. So WC Inks is another ink partner that we use, and I use these more for what I like to call the specialty, like chameleon colors. We're gonna get our oil slicks. We're gonna get our super like fine shimmers from there. She also has a code. It is Rockers15. Rockers15 is gonna save you money for WC, and you're gonna see what these inks look like. Okay, so for my first one, we are going to be using Storm Cloud. Storm Cloud is the first one. And this is a chameleon ink. So we're going to do some drops on here. And you guys, this is like, I'm obsessed with these, the chameleon ones because they're color shifting. I'm obsessed with them on tumblers. I'm obsessed with them on artwork. I'm obsessed with them on ornaments. I can't get enough of them. We have the powder versions of these chameleons, and we use them to dust our molds and that kind of thing. But when you put it in ink and you get it down on an ornament, it is just something completely different. It is such a cool effect. This next one is called Vermax. We're going to use Vermax. And this has like your, you know, kind of like, I don't know, soothing, fun little... it's just different.
Yeah,
it's
I haven't seen the
than
black background yet.
Oh wow, you're in for a treat.
I know. I feel like this is a special night.
Yes. So we're adding the Vermax. Now we're going in with the last one, which is called, I'm probably gonna butcher it, Tessarion. Tessarion.
Sounds right to me.
That's how I always say it anyway. And again, guys, if you want the kit to make these ornaments, go to our website, use the code CLASS20. CLASS20. We sell the ornaments separate, we sell the epoxy separate, but if you want the starter kit to be able to do these, then use that code to save 20 bucks on the kit. All right, so we are adding this. Love it. Love it. Okay, So now we are going to add a little bit of epoxy to the top. There we go. And you'll notice that I've mixed a couple different batches, and the reason I do that is because, again, you have that working time, you have that pot life, and if you do it in small batches, you'll get more out of it. You're not rushing. You don't feel like you're rushing. So that's why we do multiple batches.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a clear drizzle over top. Again, protection from fish eyes and getting that epoxy moving. It's easier, and when you're adding heat, it protects the ornament more. Perfect.
There's our friend WCX on.
Perfect.
Good.
All right, so here we go. We're going to heat this up. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Swift, quick movements. Never hold the heat gun to the ornament. We want some good movement going here. I just want to know how many people are going to be running to the store tomorrow to get some black spray paint after this to make this ornament, because these are so cool when they're done. All right, so now we're getting that movement. All right, so we are going to spin this a little bit, and this is what it looks like. So it's got a really nice like oil slick look to it. It's got those chameleon colors in there. So pretty.
Wow.
So cool, so pretty.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't it so pretty? So it's all about that spray paint prep. You're going to use that matte ink and use that spray paint to prep, and then look, when you put it back on the turner, look how it falls. You're going to have your epoxy kind of falling to the side, which is why we want to go up and down. We want to go upright, down, and then put it back on the turner. Now we're going to switch directions. Let it kind of fall again, another direction, and you'll be left with what looks like an oil slick, and it is slick. So yeah, so that's the effect you're going to get with those three colors from WC Inks. And again, her code is Rockers15, and you can use that to save money on your order. So very, very pretty. Love, love, love it. So
You're getting
pretty.
a lot of, I think we've got some questions about your apron,
Oh, let's hear it.
I believe, or people are asking where they can find that apron maybe.
So this apron is available in our shop too. And the fun part about it is we always are releasing new flair. And so we have a lot of our products in little mini pins. We have patches. We have all kinds of stuff. We usually give flair away and then we sell whatever's left. So I don't know how much you'll be able to find in the shop, but I even put things that I like on here, like the beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's, or, you know, just random stuff. Like there's some bourbon on there from New Riff. A schnauzer because I have two of them, a Sasquatch because I'm obsessed with them. So it kind of just like has my whole personality in there, but it also has like all my favorite products too. So the nice thing about it is it's got a place for your towel, it's got a place for all your tools, your phone, whatever you need, and it is nice to tie it in the back. It fits all sizes, which was important to me.
And
So,
it's not super bulky, it fits nicely,
yeah.
and it's got a pocket for everything like you said.
Right, and
Like,
it's canvas.
Literally everything.
It's canvas, yes.
And you can wash it too, which is
And you
so
can
nice.
wash it. Yeah, I love it. Okay. We are down to our last ornament, which is so crazy, guys. So if you have questions about anything, make sure you get those questions in now so we can help you. Just know this class was recorded, so it will be on YouTube tomorrow by noon. The class kit, if you want to get the kit, class 20, that is going to be your code to save money on the kit. We do sell the ornaments separately. We sell the epoxy separately. So just to tell you, before I start this last ornament, what the sales are. So 20% off all of our epoxy fast finish, perfect finish, which is what I'm using here tonight. Any of the tumbler blanks, someone asked about cups, all of those are 20% off as well. Any of the tumbler tools. So if you are wanting to stock up on these because you know you're going to be making a lot of these ornaments at once, this is your chance to do that. These tools don't go on sale very often, but they are 20% off. And now I'm looking at this. This is the rest of our sales that I can't see.
Oh, sorry. I'm coming. Hold on.
I'm like, wait a minute.
We got stuff. There we go. How's
Okay.
that?
So
Better.
I'm good at memorizing, but I can't memorize all the
Sorry.
sales. I just can't. So 25% off glitter. I do remember that. Not the bundles, but any of our glitter is gonna be 25% off. So those stars that I was talking about, the stardust that I was talking about, all that's gonna be 25% off. And then last but not least, we do have 50% off the Ranger inks if you're interested in any of those. We don't have a lot left, but because we're kind of, using a lot of these lately, we kind of prefer these, but they are 50% off too if you want any of those. So that being said, I hope that you guys will give it a try. I hope you'll give the ornament making a try because I'm going to be live a lot more making these, and I'm going to have lots more ideas for you, and I'm hoping that you have ideas for me. So our last ornament of the night is going to be one more of the black, and we're using WC for that one. And we are going to mix just a little bit of epoxy for this one. So you're going to only need half of what we mixed before. So we are going to do 10 mLs of A.
We've got a good question from Teresa. Can I add a decal on the outside of the ornament? And if so, how would I seal it?
Can I add a decal? Yes, you can. I would recommend doing the UV DTFs because those are permanent. They don't have to be sealed. You don't have to worry about it. But since it's an ornament, and if you think like it's not going to get tossed around, you're going to take really good care of it. You don't worry about the decal too much. You can just put a sticker on it. Just put a sticker on it and call it a day. I mean, it's just an ornament at the end of the day. If you want it to be super professional and look really good, I would recommend the UV DTF. Awesome. I'm using the Perfect Finish. That is the resin that is on sale, so you can actually run and get some. It has the longest working time, super easy to use, odor free, VOC free. It's a pleasure to work with. That was important to me.
How much would you recommend selling an ornament for?
I've sold them for up to $25.
That's
People,
awesome.
I've gone to Painted Tree, and people sell them there. They range anywhere from $25 to $35. I've had people approach me to buy them and offer $25, so that's how I came up with that price. But it just depends on what you put into it. If you put a lot of time and effort into it, you can probably get 20 to 25 bucks for it. If it's super quick and easy and you just want to go for volume and you've got 50 of them and you want to sell them, you could probably sell them for like 15 bucks. So it really is up to you. It just all depends on what people will want to pay for them. But considering it's something that's handmade, that's the most important thing to everyone, is that, if you go to Hallmark and you get an ornament, like, how much is a Hallmark ornament? I mean, most of them are like 20 bucks now, and it's not even handmade.
Oh my goodness.
So if you think about it that way, you're giving someone something that is a one-of-a-kind piece that you cannot recreate. No one in the world will be able to recreate what you did. It's worth it. It's worth it. And they're durable. They're not going to shatter. They're shatter-free. So, it's all what you put into it, really. All right, so I'm layering this on. Da, 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 da. This is beautiful. Okay, we're going to clean off our glove a little bit here. And then we're going to add some heat. So you notice that there's some bubbles on here. We're going to kind of squash those with some heat. There we go. Okay, so we are going in the last inks that we're using for tonight. Again, the code for WC inks is Rockers15, and that'll save you some money. The first one we're going to use is Sour Apple, and this is what it looks like. So I showed you the oil slicks with the black. Now we're going in with sparkle. I really want a shimmery, beautiful ornament. It's going to turn out something like this. So just a totally different kind of ink. I like to really mix it up and just do a variety because you never know what people are going to like. So we're going to go in with the sour apple. And you'll see how beautiful it is on this black. The black just really makes it pop. It just shows all that beautiful pigment and glitter. It's so pretty.
I've got an update from Haley. I'm on baby number 2, and he will be here in November, December.
Oh my gosh, congratulations, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Good
And
for
then
you.
we've got 2 good questions on YouTube.
All right, let's hear 'em.
Okay, 1, have you ever hydro dipped your ornaments? And 2, can you use the white pigment epoxy on the black for a dramatic look?
Yes, you can. And it's cool. If you use white on there, I'll answer that first. If you use white, it gives you a more marbling effect. So just know that. Looks really neat. Love it. And as far as the, what was the other one? Sorry.
Using hydro dip.
Hydro dip. Yes, you
Oh,
can.
sorry.
Absolutely can hydro dip them. It's just like hydro dipping a tumbler. In fact, it's a little bit easier. But yes, you can. You can use marble, like Easy Marble or any other marbling paint. And it does create a really cool effect. This is raspberry, by the way.
Oh boy, that is pretty.
Yes.
Wow, that is a
It's gorgeous.
beautiful color. For Bethany, we do not carry them in that size, but you can reach out to Decal Ranch and he can take care of you.
Yes. All right, the next one I'm using is Kiwi. This is a shimmer as well. This is a really pretty green. But again, guys, on this black, you can't go wrong. It's so pretty. You won't have the same effect on a clear ornament because it's gonna be transparent. This just really makes the colors pop. It really makes it all come together really nice. So that's why I do it. That's why I do the black. But do some black, do some different colors, experiment with stuff. You can do any colors. Just make sure that the ink is matte, or I'm sorry, that the paint is matte.
Which inks are you using right now?
This is WC.
WC inks.
Happy birthday to that. All right. Can you use it? Okay, yeah. All right, so this one is going to be your purple. This is called Sugar Plum. All right, this one is Blueberry. So this is going to be a really beautiful blue. One of my favorites.
Teresa Hayes has a good question.
Yeah.
She says, are all turners the same size?
Same size as in attachment-wise?
I think so.
If we're talking about the attachments, no, they are not. And I will tell you, the ones that are on Amazon are no good. I've used them before. Thank you so much. They don't last, and none of the tools fit them because they're just not a standard size because they're from Asia. So I wouldn't recommend it. I've had people that have had them burn, like, fry, the circuit board fries. I just wouldn't recommend it at all. Go local with a turner. It's handmade, it's handcrafted, good supplies, good customer service. That's the most important thing that you need to look for. So Dino's can help you out with that. All right, we're going on with our clear drizzle here. So we add some more epoxy to it. Again, if you're doing white, you can add white to it. If you want more of a marbling effect with this, you can add black thickwood to the epoxy, and you'll be adding a little bit more black to it. So that's also a really cool thing to do. We're going to do something also with this at the end for a final touch that came in your kit. So just hang tight for that. We're going to use our heat gun and heat this up and get this moving. And since this is our last ornament of the night, we're going to wrap it up. So if you guys have any last minute questions, this is the time to get them in. So pretty. So I'm gonna let that spin for a minute. Okay, any last minute questions? I'm trying to look and see. So the epoxy has no fumes or smell. All epoxy has fumes of some kind. So don't be fooled by that. There is no smell, and we don't have any VOCs. So that's the one good thing about that. I always recommend PPE. I mean, everybody should wear PPE to be safe. Protect your body. All right, so this is what the shimmers look like from WC. This is so beautiful, you guys. It creates such a cool effect.
It's gorgeous.
Especially on that black. So when you're working with this, you can do any color combination that you want, and it will always turn out really cool.
It's giving me some 90s mall vibes.
Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh yeah, so good. Okay, so we're gonna put this on our turner. So now we've got all 5 ornaments turning. So these will turn for 24 hours. I would imagine by the time I come in tomorrow morning, they will already be cured, but I'm going to keep them turning just to make sure that they're fully cured and I don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so just to recap, first of all, this was super fun. I love doing these, and I will be doing these especially up to and maybe during the holiday season because they're just one of my favorite things to make. Oh, I forgot the finishing touches, didn't I? Okay, so the finishing touches on that ornament. You guys got some of this chunky glitter. Okay, this is called Diamonds Are a Girl's BFF. This is a really, really pretty mirror shine. What you want to do with it, you can do it on any of your ornaments. So just take a little pinch like we did the stars and just kind of sprinkle it on top as it's turning, and it just, you don't want to add a lot, just a little bit of sprinkle all the way around. It's so pretty. So this is one of the other things that you guys got in your kit as well. What's the best type of ornament to epoxy? I guess it depends on what you prefer. I prefer the plastic ornaments because they're more durable. They're not going to break. They're not going to shatter. They're going to last longer. And if something happens to it, I don't care. Like, I'm not worried about it. It's not going to hurt anybody. The glass ornaments, some people prefer because you can use a fast set on it. I don't recommend it. I don't like doing it. It's too touch and go, and again, it can still shatter, so I don't recommend that. So yeah, I use the plastic ones. We sell them in our shop. You can get a 4-pack for $4.99, and you can just start creating right away. Okay, so I see a couple more questions coming in, but just to recap the sales. So guys, if you want the kit for the epoxy ornament kit, if you like what I did tonight and you enjoyed yourself, which I enjoyed myself, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, you can go to our website, click on the banner, use the code CLASS20. CLASS20 will save you $20 off the kit right off the bat. If you want to get the epoxy, it's 20% off. So the fast finish is 20% off. The perfect finish which is what I used tonight, 20% off. The tumbler blanks, the tumbler tools, 20% off. 25% off all of our glitter, including the stars, the BFF, the Stardust, everything I showed you tonight, everything that I demoed. And then we have the inks on sale as well. So that is pretty much everything. I'm going to check one more time. Yes, I can give the codes again. So for Bear Creek Signature, Rockers, that's going to save you money. Easy Turns, Rockers. And for WC Inks, it's Rockers 15. So those are the codes, and we will put those in an email that we send out tomorrow with the link to the video so that you guys, if you don't have something to write it down or you don't want to have to remember it, it'll be in that email as well. Probably not a good idea to store these in a box in the garage due to heat. Correct. It is resin, it's epoxy, so it is heat resistant up to 500 degrees. However, some resin can soften if it's really thin, if it's poured really thin. So if you're doing a super, super, super paper thin coat on these, it's probably could get a little bit soft, but it is heat resistant up to 500 degrees. So unless you have flames going on in your attic or your garage, it should be good in theory. But yeah, just use caution with that. Another amazing class. Thank you for continuing to share your knowledge and expertise with us. You are so very welcome, and we will continue to do that. We really appreciate that feedback. That is priceless to us. Thanks for teaching. You're a great teacher. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, you guys have been an easy class. This was so easy. Just to let you guys know, we only have one more class for 2024. It is going to be in November, so keep your eyes open for that. It is the UV Resin Beginners class. We've done it a couple times and it's gone really, really well. So we are continuing to do that because we have so many people reaching out asking how they get started with the craft, and it's so much easier to just do it in a kit and do it in a class and offer the class for free. That way, if you already have supplies, I can answer any questions that you have, and it just kind of, jumpstarts your little journey with UV resin. So we'll be doing that in November. We also have a couple other fun events coming up. You'll be getting emails for those as well. So if you haven't subscribed to us, make sure you do, because you don't want to miss out. We do a lot of fun live events where we dress up, we're goofy, we're crazy, we're fun. Opportunities to win prizes and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you join our Facebook group. It's Resin Rockers Tips and Tricks. That's a really great resource for you too, because if you're making these ornaments and you are struggling with questions, or you just want to know where somebody got something, or maybe you want to share your artwork with us. I check that group every single night. I'm going in, I'm looking at my customers' creations. It's my favorite thing to do before I go to bed. So please, if you did enjoy this class and you made ornaments, post them in the group so that I can look at them, because that is my passion, is to see what I've inspired you to do. So I would appreciate it if you did that too. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining, and I look forward to the next class. Again, if you have any questions about what you saw today, or any questions in general about our products, just reach out. We're here to help, and we love to do it. So, All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and I will be back soon with another great resin art tutorial. Have a good night, guys.